Amazing. Welcome everyone to phase 4, the last workshop of the Curator program. We're so happy to have had everyone join us along the way. Over 1,600 people completed at least one phase. So thank you so much for your participation, and we're excited to see how you continue joining the graph ecosystem. So today we'll be doing a bit of a show and tell. We know you guys have worked really hard on either building subgraphs or you have things you'd like to share. So there will be about 20 people. We'll do 1 minute each. They can share a screen, don't need to share a screen, whatever works best. And then Yaniv Tal, our co-founder, will go over what the future of curation will look like following mainnet launch. And then we'll have a few minutes left for open questions. Awesome, so let's get started. So the first person, and sorry if I butcher anyone's names, is I Bardak.
Are you here?
Is there I Bardak here? Okay, next person is Vandenberg. Sjord Vandenberg.
Yes, that's me. Thanks. First of all, congratulations. This has been amazing. This is I think everybody here can wants to tell the team the same thing. So my experience as a non-technical curator was pretty scary from the beginning. And along the journey, I actually noticed that even as a non-technical person, I can be part of this this ecosystem. And the thing I like most about it, basically, is that every day I get new ideas, and it forces me to stay on top of the market and to search for those sweet spots that need to be indexed. And basically, that's what I love about it, because you need this helicopter view to do that. And even if you don't do actually the coding, it's still, let's say, rewarding. That was my key takeaway.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
So up next, we have Steve NG.
Steve, are you there?
All right. While we wait for Steve, Nicholas Marotta.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to kind of follow along the same lines. Thank you guys so much. It was an amazing opportunity. When I answered the question, what does the graph mean to me? For me, it was participation. I'm able to follow a lot of tokens. I can buy and sell Bitcoin, of course, but we're actually hands-on. You know, I was able to get into the subgraphs, understand the schema, and you know, start to kind of build them myself. I'm certainly not a developer. I come from a very non-technical background. I'm going to do a quick share here. I'm a researcher. I work as a college professor, and I also research, you know, a lot of things for design. I've always been drawn to NFTs, and when I looked at the graph, I immediately saw a huge opportunity for NFTs. I would like to build. I haven't done this yet, but this is a proposal that I'd love to share with everybody. I'd love to build an NFT tracking subgraph that helps me find auctions, understand the pricing behind the artists. You can see these are some pretty steep numbers here. Why would someone pay $107,000 for that? I don't know. But to really provide people real-time data. These auctions go sometimes in a second, less than a second, and you've got to make a $100,000 decision. I think that the subgraph would be a huge provider for that. So, and team, you guys are awesome. I'm on a couple of other projects as well, and I just wanted to give you guys a digital high five. Really great crew. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And we've definitely seen an uptick in NFT subgraphs as well. So hopefully that'll come soon.
Yeah.
So next up, we have Tommy C.
Hey guys, sorry, I was on mute. So I'm going to share my desktop here. And I'm actually a developer by trade. And so I'm working on this product called APY Vision, which essentially looks at all your transactions on your AMMs, which are decentralized exchanges, and it tries to analyze the data for you as to what your gains are versus what your allocations of tokens are ever since you started providing liquidity. Now, before we started the graph using it, we were basically reading blockchain data, and it was super slow. So we actually built a subgraph on top that actually leverages multiple data sources. So Uniswap is one, Balancer is another one, SushiSwap is another one. So we're aggregating all of that data and putting that into a subgraph, which now we can query easily. So if I show you guys quickly this subgraph that we built, essentially we're storing all of the users that have put in liquidity in one of these pools, and now we're able to query it sort of like in a quick fashion with all their balances and whatnot. So the graph really helped us with sort of like the performance side of things, where we don't have to now query blockchain data every single time. So thank you guys. Hats off to wonderful products, and we'll be continuing to use you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Yasir Ahmed.
Hey guys, this has been a life experience for me, to be honest. It's just mind-boggling. Martin, we talked a lot. What I'm going to talk about is the future, where we need to build community and tooling around the graph to allow people to do things. To allow, I was in Discord answering people. How do I find the best indexers? Whose indexer give me what? How do I understand how this percentage work? No, he's taking my money. He's taking 80%. No, he's not taking your money. All these conversations. So my idea is to start working in tools that allow people to see what's going on behind this, because there's some information that you cannot put on the graph itself because it's for legal reasons, but community can create it and basically like ranking indexes. I want to show you just one thing that I used. I used to be an indexer on the testnet, and I'm still hoping to get starting indexing, but just getting my house in order. But these are part of the things that I used to use during the time indexing. I tried to figure out which I was running a small infrastructure. There's big guys on the indexing competition, and I'm a smaller fish. So how do I make dent? How do I get advanced? And I figured out if I can query the API and get the best subgraphs, tell me what's the best. If you look at this table, it's a tool I built, which tells me per allocation, where should I put my money and where most of the money going, and quickly you discover that there's 5 to 6 subgraph where 60% of the money going. So this is where you allocate, and then you allocate accordingly and so on. But the focus now I have in my mind is answering the delegation questions, building a website that helps people figure out how to delegate and with the return, and which indexer is ranked best to go to, and where not to delegate because the indexer is over delegated, whatever. So that is, I'm sorry for that. That's the idea. But yeah, I'm a network security engineer by default and slash developer. The graph was by far on my technical career is one of two things that happened to me. One of them is I worked in a company called Rackspace that changed my life and my skills level and so on. Spent a third of my career on it. And then I spent 5 months in the graph that is made my life upside down. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Next up, we have Andre Tarolo. Okay, no, Andre. Rita Bankuran. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Eva. So yeah, definitely that was two exciting 2 months joining the Curator program. So I want to thank everyone for this opportunity, be part of this amazing project. So yeah, during these 2 months as a non-tech curator, I have started deep dive into all this technical part, and I'm in coding, knowing about GraphQL, knowing about the idea of the subgraph. And I want to thank also the Graph team and the Graph project for helping me knowing what Web3 means, because before joining this project, I never heard about what does means Web3. So I discovered all this type of things related to decentralization. So I have built some subgraphs and deployed them on the hosted net for Orion protocol, for example. So I will try to share my screen. Okay, so I just let you see what I have done. So yeah, so I put the subgraph and deployed on the hosted net service. As you can see here with the schema, we have those 4 different type entities that I have created and coded there. And from there, I have spent some sleepless nights because I have a day job, as I guess everybody here. But it was so exciting, and I really enjoyed this. And apart from that, I want to share with you maybe some funny part which is related to the memes, because I have created dozens of memes, and I put them in the Discord and in the social media, but unfortunately I can see how I can share them here. But anyway, you can find them in the Discord, and it was really too exciting month, and I'm really looking forward for what is coming next after this amazing mainnet launch. And thanks again, everybody.
Thanks so much for the kind words. Next up, we have Marat Zinatulin. No Marat. Okay. Antoine Verne.
Oh,
All right. Oh. No Antoine.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me now?
yep.
Oh, perfect. Sorry about that. My name is Marat. Yeah. For starters, I have to warn you that I'm quite nervous and English is not my first language, so please excuse my possible mistakes. So firstly, I would like to thank you, the Graph team, for this great opportunity. Over the past 2 months, I have taken my baby steps in learning programming, met bright and smart people, learned a lot of new and cool stuff. Since I'm, as a lot of people here, a person with a humanitarian mindset, I don't have much to show at this call, but during the 3rd phase of our Curator program, I created several subgraphs, but my favorite one is, let me share. Yeah, my favorite one is this one. This is a subgraph for Axie Infinity game. It's like NFT game. So I, as like previous speakers, believe in huge future of NFT. So I created subgraph for this. And during the last phase of the program, I created a collection of NFT tokens of some representative of Graph team. So yeah, you can see it. Yeah. And the fact that even an experienced person as I am could create a working subgraph, in my opinion, shows the quality and thoughtfulness of the code written by the team. So finishing up my talk, I'd like to say that I'm happy to be a part of the Curator program and Curator community. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for sharing and hearing that you were able to learn how to build subgraphs throughout the program. That's incredible, and that's exactly what we were hoping for. So thank you so much.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
So next up, we had Antoine Verne. Is there an Antoine here? No. Okay, so Andre. Marat, you might still be sharing your screen.
I might need some help here. My first, okay, now, yeah, perfect, thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Andre? I think I saw someone become a co-host.
We can come back to.
Okay. Next up is Gapanov Evgeny. All right, let's go to the next person. Onur Sarayli. Sorry if I butchered that. All right, Rahul Mittal.
Hi everyone. Let me share the screen. So, wait. I think I shared the wrong screen, maybe. Wait just a second. This went wrong, I guess. Just a second. Are you able to see the screen? I am not sure, basically.
Yeah, we can see side finance.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, so I am a developer. Basically, kind of like I was working within AI initially, but I was too much interested into blockchain. I was initially working on a private equity based idea, but over time I kind of created this. So this is basically, you can say, a liquidity driven fund structure, which I have been working on as a research project and a DeFi project. So what I'm trying to do is compensate the LPs and borrowers for the volatility risk of the underlying instrument. So whenever the market moves against your position, I'm trying to compensate that through yield farming, but that will be parameterized, and that will act as a fund structure basically. So if you look at here, basically, this is the volatility of the underlying liquidity which is deposited into the protocol, and this is the amount which can be harvested. So this loss inherently will be compensated for the participants over a 24-hour period, and this is the actual amount which is harvested. So let's say over the past 24 hours, you have Bitcoin and the price went down. Like you can see it here. This is the amount which it has gone down by. Then this is the amount which can be harvested through yield farming. And this is the actual harvest. And this is the API basically. So it is designed like that. And I'm really, I'm absolutely amazed by how the Graph protocol have designed their financial like incentive structures with signaling and bonding curves. And I'm right now looking into state channels, and I'm trying to see if I can also leverage that to create some kind of like fund structure basically, where this psi instrument, which we are yield farming basically, that can be you can say given to participants who can create trading strategies and inherently use it to leverage the loss of the like participants basically. So I hope this turns out good. But other than that, I'm really amazed by how Graph protocol have created a new financial market, and I'm looking forward to how the signaling and the curation market, comes into picture and how that functions. So that's from my side. And I'm also working on the CAD simulation for the graphs economic protocol. I've just started that, but I hope I'll within a week I'm able to complete it. Yeah.
Awesome. Keep us posted on that simulation.
Yeah.
Cool. So next up we have Rozova Anastasia Valerevna. No. Okay. Next up is Marko Blazekovic. No Marco. Okay. Ilker. Ilker. Okay. Alexander Kuznetsov. Is there an Alexander here? Oh, okay. And the last one we have is Philip Glennon.
Or
Right.
from Philip, it's also from the Poland team. I'm not sure if anyone's here from them.
Cool. Well, that's all we had scheduled. So if there's anyone else who'd like to share anything, we have a few extra minutes. Maybe raise your hand. P, you've just messaged saying you'd like to present. Is there something you'd like to share?
P and Sasha. Okay, let me. Sasha, do you want to go first?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for the chance to have a small talk. Lots of guys talked about the technology well, but I would like to mention the other important part of the graph protocol, the community. I found out that lots of people during the Curator phase and the first weeks after the public sale and we're getting into communities. And I would like to mention Russian community in Telegram, which were extremely useful for everyone and created lots of guides, such as Leopold, who was talking before me. He did extremely good guides, and lots of people from all over the world used it. So if a project has some users, and we all know that the graph already has lots of users from different projects such as Uniswap and so on, but without the community, the protocol wouldn't be so successful, such as it could be. So I would like to say thanks for everyone who helped me, who helped our guys to build the new decentralized network. Нарница тупо лучше. Спасибо. Thanks for hearing me, guys.
Thank you. Let me.
I saw a raised hand from Lorena.
Yeah, we have Lorena, Adam, Slim Chance, and P. And those would be the last four, I think. Maybe Denison also wants to share something. Let me allow everyone to be a co-host so they can unmute themselves. Okay. Adam, are you ready to share? Perfect.
Hey guys, yes. First of all, congratulations to the team. It's been amazing to watch, and it just the fact that there's over 240 participants in this call is a testament. The project just feels like this black hole of enthusiasm, and it's awesome to see. I just wanted to pop in and just quickly share the live peer subgraph and what it powers. So really quickly, I'll share my screen.
Amazing.
Oh, you know what? I have to quit and reopen 1 sec.
Hey, Adam, you're back. Just muted.
Sorry about that. All right, I'll share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
You can.
Okay, so this is the LivePeer Protocol Explorer. So for those who don't know, LivePeer is open video infrastructure built on Ethereum, and it offers transcoding, video transcoding for broadcasters who want to perform live video streaming. It's actually very similar to the graph in that it's a delegated proof of stake protocol. So in the graph, you have indexers who perform the work of indexing, and you have curators or delegators who delegate to those indexers who they believe are doing good work. Similarly, in LivePeer, you have what's known as an orchestrator who performs the work on the LivePeer network, and you have delegators who delegate to orchestrators. So all this data is being pulled from the LivePeer subgraph. Previously, we had an iteration of the Explorer, and it was super slow. So when we first heard about the graph, we jumped on it, and we've been using it in production for, I think, over 2 years now. And it's just, it gets better and better, and it's amazing to see the growth and all the different subgraphs being created today. And like I said, the enthusiasm around the project. So thank you to the graph team. I'm excited to be along for the journey.
Great, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Should we moving forward to P? Can you unmute yourself? Yeah. Hey.
So hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm coming by name Salty Palo in Discord. I'm from community Zero Yakuza, and I'm going to talk a bit about our project Graph Advisor, which I've made with QLS and Ingag. I'm going to show you my screen then. So I'm not really a technical person, I'm more of a talking head, so they've chose me for that. So this is a Graph Advisor. Long story short, originally Graph Advisor is sort of an analog to TripAdvisor, but for subgraphs and not cafes. That's where, as you may guess, its name is coming from. There's a list of subgraphs. You may sign in through GitHub, leave a review, and rank a subgraph on 3 categories: complexity, completeness, and accuracy. So the platform already has contains over 100 reviews. And after the first feedback from the, here's my also, after the first feedback from the first users, we see that the community needs a more complex and thoughtful product. So in this regard, our main goal is to transform. At the current stage, we have made a Web 2.0 prototype, and our main task with the launch of the subgraph mainnet is to make it like a Web 3.0 transformation, so that the project meets all the values of the graph community and becomes an important element of the ecosystem. So where participants would have all the information they need to make rational decisions in the process of selecting subgraphs, of creating, of delegating tokens to indexers with good reputation, and so on. So our main idea is sort of becoming alternative explorer with a whole set of additional useful information, and we would like in the future to use the entire stack of the graph protocol. So I really hope that after the forums and phase 4 is over, that maybe we will get some feedback from the team and maybe suggestions where to move forward with our project. And thank you for the Curator program. It was really fun to do.
Amazing. Thank you so much for building this. Excited to see how it evolves.
Yeah, sure.
So next up, Lorena, can you unmute yourself? Let me.
Hello. First, I want to say thank you for the group because I am not technician. I say many times, so I couldn't do anything of the subgraph that everybody was doing. I tried to collaborate with checking the subgraph, for example, Curators, and I did a lot of I make some questions and I put in the when we finish the stage 4, when we have to complete the I don't know in English how to say, I have to complete the question and what we should to add to the project, to the graph. I did many comments because I consider that this is very important project, but it's very technical in my opinion because I'm a lawyer. So I consider that could add not technical information to open this project to not technical. So could put opportunity to the consumer to use the graph to obtain some information that is not technical, but it requires to solve the problems or whatever they need, okay? That is for me the organization of that. I make a lot of translation and I create I try to create the graph Telegram group in the community in Spanish, the people who is interested in this project, and how I say that the graph is everybody say that this booklet of the project, in my opinion, is the Wikipedia of the project. For that reason, should be add some tips or some information that could be not included at this moment. So that's all.
Thank you so much for sharing, and hearing that you were still able to provide value and learn something even though you're non-technical is really fantastic, and that's the goal of the graph.
And thanks for creating the Telegram group in Spanish. There's almost 100 people already there. Yeah. Okay, I think next up we have someone from the team from Poland that they were before signed up for showing.
Yeah. Hey, Martin. Hey, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Fine, thanks. So I wanted to go to give you a little introduction to Poland at first. And this is Poland. It's basically a liquidity asset pool where you have the governance aspect and the portfolio being more intertwined. So like you see the portfolio here, and the portfolio is formulated according to governance. Okay, so you have proposals here for what assets to add and what assets to sell. And that it's according to market conditions. But just to avoid any technical mishaps, I'm just gonna switch over to a pre-recorded video and show you guys. That's okay. So, hello guys, this is Arnold from Poland, and I'm here to show you this is the first technical mishap. So, hello guys, this is Arnold from Poland, and I'm here to show you the Poland subgraph and how it's being heavily relied on by the Poland UI. So, everything you see here in the Poland UI is being fetched and provided by the subgraph. So all the proposals you see here, and also the detailed proposal information, as well as the portfolio information, and all the different tokens available, and the balances of the portfolio. We're also leveraging the graph's ability to translate from IPFS into plain text. So what that exactly means is any proposal you see here, the description text is actually taken from the IPFS hash fetched from the blockchain. And that IPFS hash is actually getting translated by the graph into plain text of the description text. Joining the Curator program has been a great experience for us because it enables us to support the Pollen subgraph. For example, we'd be using the graph tokens to stake on the Pollen subgraph to indicate to indexer that this is a quality subgraph and should be indexed by them, as well as to pay for any graph queries on behalf of our users. So that will be remove a lot of friction. So we really appreciate what all the graph is doing for the EQ space in general. And we're really excited to see how the graph becomes more and more essential for building any future dApps. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I hope that was clear.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Slim Chance.
Slim Chance is our last sharer.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll share my screen. Yeah, me and my fellow curator, Golden, are proud to present the Graph portal. Portal with all the information you need to delegate at the Graph network. It has a comprehensive guide for how to delegate. It has a guide on how to choose an indexer, including going through all the metrics that are found at the Graph network, and with a calculation that lets you calculate the query fee commission and index rewards commission that are the actual commissioner reward. As we know, the fee cut percentage and the reward index rewards percentage is a bit different calculated than most other protocols, and it also touches on how an indexer can affect the revenue of a delegator by changing its strategy. And finally, we have a page for indexer profiles where the indexers can make their own profile with an easy to share link. And we are happy for anyone who contacts us any indexer who contacts us to list their indexer profile on this Graph community portal. Yeah, and that's that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I guess that concludes our show and tell portion. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We have really enjoyed everyone's passion and energy that you've put into the Curator program, and we hope you stick around for any future programs. And so now we'll hand it off to Yaniv.
Yeah, wow, just how amazing, and just really cool to see everybody's stories and all of the shares here today. And I think it really points to the power of open protocols, right? The fact that really anybody can contribute. It doesn't matter where you're from, your ethnicity, religion, all of these things. As long as you want to contribute to decentralization, if there's something you want to build, you're welcome in this community. Nobody checked your resume, what school you went to. It's really just open, permissionless innovation and contribution, and I think that's that's so exciting, and we think that should really be the basis of the economy. And so hopefully over the coming years we see just many more protocols in every sector of the economy that works in this way. And I think this is one of the first programs that was done like this globally over the internet with real financial incentives. And maybe it can be a template for the next wave of protocols. So, just wanted to share a little bit about what to expect on mainnet now that we launched. A really big milestone, and it feels incredible to have the Graph network out there already with indexers staking, and delegators have started delegating. You can follow along at network.thegraph.com. The next step, of course, is starting to migrate traffic over from the hosted service and start running some production subgraphs on the network. Now that is going to take us a little bit of time. There's some work that we need to do at the application layer on top of the network itself, and just getting the network out was a really big feat. So our plan is to work really closely with the first set of launch partners, and we're going to be launching a Graph Explorer DApp, a decentralized Explorer on top of the network, and also a gateway that makes it really easy for developers to run their dApps on top of the decentralized network. And I'm just going to unpack that a little bit for people that aren't kind of familiar with the gateway setup. Eventually, our long-term vision for the Graph is that end users are just going to connect directly to the network. So you'll have a query engine that runs on your phone or on your laptop. It selects the nearest indexer, and you just through these state channels pay those indexers directly for the metered usage of the data that you're consuming. Now, for that to happen, we need a few more advancements in state channels, and it's mostly just engineering at this point. The research has all been done, but that's going to take a little longer. And there's also an educational component to teaching people, like, hey, you have to have a wallet, you have to load up your funds, the same way that people use gas on Ethereum. But we wanted to kind of put that as a separate step down in the future. So in the meantime, we're going to have a gateway, and other people can also build gateways, but we're going to build one that's really good as edge and node, that allows developers that want to run a dApp on the network to basically deposit some GRT and pay those query fees on behalf of the users, and the gateway will take care of all of the payment channel stuff. So that's all under development. We're going to be going live with some launch partners fairly soon, and we want to work closely with them, make sure that everything's working well in a kind of beta environment, and then open it up to general availability. So at that point, that's where curation is really going to become valuable. For the first few subgraphs that get deployed on top of the network, curation isn't going to be as important because it's so few subgraphs. If there's only like 5 subgraphs, everybody knows these are the subgraphs. There's no real signal to pull out from curation, and all of that's reflected in the economics. Since curation happens on a bonding curve, we are going to be giving some graph tokens to these initial launch partners. They'll be able to seed the bonding curves with some initial signal, and so the marginal benefit of signaling after that, we'll see it's probably minimal. So that isn't the place that I would focus as a curator, right? The real benefit of the curation is going to come when it's in general availability. Every day people are deploying many subgraphs, and we need people to go through to actually see which of these subgraphs are really valuable and should be used, and that's really when the curation is going to be most valuable. So we don't want to promise any dates right now. I think the best estimate is that we're going to get there for general availability in the March timeframe. And so in the meantime, there's a lot that you can do to continue to be involved, continuing to build subgraphs, to be tracking, what are people deploying on the hosted service, in that Graph Explorer. We're wrapping up the Curator program, but this isn't going to be the end of, the Curator community. This is, I think, we built something really special here, and we want to continue with it. So, continuing far into the future, we're going to continue to hold events, and really, we'd love to see, you all continue to take ownership of this community. You're all the the first wave, the initial curators in the network. And if this thing grows the way we think it is, you all can really stand out as leaders, and you can teach the next generation of curators, and hold events in your own local communities and on online. We'll continue with all of this throughout next year and beyond. There will be natural incentives, just through the protocol, where it no longer needs to be us giving out, bounties and prizes through a special program, but just by participating in the network, if you're adding value, the economics of the protocol should reward all of the different ways that people can continue to add value. Again, thank you so much for all of your participation, for making this your own. I think it's really clear just from hearing the people talk today that this protocol and this experience was pretty special for a lot of people, and it's because of all of the work that you put in. We really appreciate it, and we're really just at the beginning of this next wave, and hopefully now we can feel that more than ever. And so let's continue to invest in the community, invest in each other, lift each other up, build something that we can really be proud of. And I'm so excited to continue this journey with you all. So thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. And I think with that, we're gonna, I think we can maybe leave room for one or two questions before we wrap up. Raise your hand if you've got a shout out or a question.
Okay, let's unmute.
Okay, there's a question here about what we're going to be focusing on next. Our focus is going to be on growing the network, migrating the subgraphs, from the hosted service, really testing out, the economics now, on mainnet. I'm sure there's going to be improvements that we want to make. Building out the governance process. We announced the Graph Council, which is how we're doing governance. So you can think of it maybe more of like a technocracy or something. But we have representative stakeholders from all the different groups. Indexers, users, external researchers, wide range of people, and they're ultimately the ones that are going to be signing protocol upgrades and parameterization. But we want to have broad community involvement in the governance process, in the form of making proposals, discussing the merits of the different proposals, so that we can really have the whole community involved in deciding how the protocol should evolve. So that's one area that I'm really excited for. Relatedly, we've got Eva heading up the Graph Foundation, and we now have a treasury that has value. That's really exciting. So one of the things that Eva is going to be leading early next year is the grants program, and that's actually something I should have mentioned earlier, is a really great opportunity for all of you. If you have ideas of things that you would like to do to contribute to the ecosystem, really great opportunity through this grants program to tell us what you would like to work on, what you think it would cost to build it, and we now have some resources to deploy, and we'd love to invest in the community and to see ongoing development, community work, tooling, applications, anything you can think of that would be valuable to the community. We want to support.
So hey, Anna, I have a question about ETH2. Like ETH2 has become something really big, and especially in crypto news. So I don't know, like what are your biggest plans for ETH2 on the prioritization compared to layer 2 chains?
Yeah, so I imagine that we'll migrate to ETH2 when the time comes. And it sounds like it's probably going to be a roll-up centric world for a while. So maybe that's the next move is migrating the smart contracts to a roll-up. We'll see. As far as the graphs indexing, ETH2 and the different shards there are going to be just like any other blockchain. So we want to index eventually the data from all the different decentralized networks, and that becomes even more important in a layer 2 world, in a sharded world where there's lots of different chains, and you don't want as a developer to have to think about where's my data coming from. And so it's definitely, we think Ethereum is going to continue to be the dominant chain that's securing the most amount of value in a programmable setting for the foreseeable future. And so it's certainly at the top of the list. But really, once we start to see smart contracts running on ETH2, that I think is when it's going to be the most interesting, because that's where the rich data is.
Any other question?
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. So this has been really incredible. What a way to wrap up this exciting program. And thank you again for all of your participation. It's been incredible for all of us. And let's keep it going. This isn't the end. This is really just the beginning of a really long, exciting journey. So thanks again for being part. And we'll see you on the Discord. We'll see you at the next events. Don't be strangers.
Thanks everyone.
everyone.
Out.